Today, we bring you urgent news straight from the front lines of science, where dedicated researchers are working tirelessly to safeguard our future. This is a discovery that underscores the delicate and sometimes perilous boundary between human health and the intricate ecosystems of the natural world. It's a stark reminder of how interconnected we all are. Researchers in Yunnan, China, a region known for its rich biodiversity, have made a concerning identification. 2 new henipaviruses have been discovered. This is a virus family infamous for its history of triggering deadly outbreaks around the globe, causing severe illness and raising alarms within the medical community. These newly identified viruses were found within populations of fruit bats, specifically those roosting in close proximity to rural villages. The bats were also found near livestock farms, where animals such as pigs and cattle are raised, creating a potential bridge for viral transmission. This proximity puts both the animals and the people who live and work in these areas dangerously close to potential infection. This isn't some distant, theoretical threat lurking in the shadows. It's a direct and present public health concern that demands immediate attention and proactive measures to prevent potential spread. The discovery underscores the critical need for constant, vigilant surveillance of wildlife populations and their interactions with human environments. It highlights the vital role of scientists acting as disease detectives. They are tracking these invisible threats, working tirelessly to understand them before they have the chance to spill over into human populations and cause widespread harm. By meticulously sequencing the genetic material of these viruses, researchers were able to definitively confirm their place within the henipavirus family, solidifying our understanding of their potential dangers. Think of them as newly discovered, previously unknown cousins within a notorious lineage, each carrying the potential for unique and unpredictable behavior. This proactive research serves as our crucial first line of defense against emerging infectious diseases. It's giving us the vital intelligence we need to prepare effectively for whatever challenges might come our way in the future. The health of our planet's ecosystems and our own human health are inextricably linked, forming a complex web of interdependence. A seemingly isolated virus lurking in a remote bat cave today has the potential to rapidly escalate into a global crisis that affects us all tomorrow. This discovery serves as a critical wake-up call, urging us towards greater investment in scientific research. It also highlights the urgent need to strengthen our public health infrastructure, ensuring we are prepared to respond effectively to emerging threats. The question is no longer if we will face another pandemic. The real questions are when and where the next outbreak will occur, and how prepared we will be to face it. To truly understand the potential threat posed by these newly discovered viruses, we need to delve into their origins and examine the henipavirus family. It's a group of viruses with a history of causing severe and often fatal diseases. This group includes notorious killers like the Hendra virus and the Nipah virus, both capable of causing widespread panic and devastation. These viruses are particularly concerning because they have staggering fatality rates, far exceeding those of many other well-known viral diseases. Hendra first appeared in Australia, marking the beginning of a terrifying chapter in viral outbreaks. It quickly spread, causing severe and often fatal disease in horses, demonstrating its ability to jump between species. Tragically, it also made the jump to humans, resulting in severe illness and death. Nipah, even more alarming due to its wider geographic spread and higher mortality, has caused deadly outbreaks in Malaysia, leaving a trail of devastation and fear in its wake. Bangladesh, where it continues to re-emerge, posing a constant threat to public health. And India, where outbreaks have strained healthcare systems and caused significant loss of life. The mortality rates associated with Nipah are particularly terrifying, sometimes climbing over 75%, making it one of the deadliest viruses known to humankind. The new Yunnan viruses, discovered in bats, are close genetic relatives of these established threats, sharing a common ancestor and similar genetic makeup. They share key structural and functional features, raising concerns about their potential to cause similar diseases. This genetic similarity is raising serious concerns among scientists that they could potentially be just as deadly as their infamous relatives. Henipaviruses are known to attack the brain, causing encephalitis and severe neurological complications, and the lungs, leading to pneumonia and acute respiratory distress. The long-term consequences can be devastating, often leaving survivors with lasting neurological damage, impacting their quality of life. Their genetic proximity to known human pathogens, viruses that have already demonstrated their ability to infect and kill humans, is a major red flag, signaling a potential threat that cannot be ignored. Scientists are now meticulously analyzing their genetic code, seeking to understand their vulnerabilities and potential for adaptation. This in-depth analysis aims to predict how they might behave in different scenarios and assess the risk they pose to human populations. The risk is real, and the potential consequences are severe. Even if these viruses haven't infected people yet, and we hope they never do, their lineage, their close relationship to deadly viruses, demands our immediate and unwavering attention. We simply can't afford complacency or inaction in the face of such a potential threat. We must take proactive measures to understand and mitigate the risks associated with viruses from such a deadly family. Nature is warning us, sending us a clear signal that we must heed. We must study these viruses intensely, leaving no stone unturned in our quest to understand their behavior and potential for harm. Preparation, through research, surveillance, and public health planning, is our only viable option to protect ourselves from this potential threat. The carriers of these new henipaviruses are fruit bats from the genus Fructis. These bats aren't hidden away. They live near villages, farms, and orchards across Asia and Africa. As natural reservoirs, they carry viruses without getting sick, spreading them over wide areas as they search for food. Yunnan, where these viruses were found, is a hotspot for both biodiversity and emerging diseases. Human expansion into wild areas increases contact between people, livestock, and bats. Fruit orchards attract bats, bringing them into direct contact with agricultural lands and communities. The real problem isn't the bats, it's our disruption of their habitats. Deforestation, urbanization, and agriculture drive up the risk of spillover. By changing the landscape, we create more opportunities for viruses to jump to humans. The discovery in Yunnan is a direct result of this growing overlap. How does a virus jump from bat to human? It's called zoonotic spillover, and it happens in subtle ways. Bats shed viruses in saliva, urine, and feces, contaminating fruit or surfaces people touch. Eating unwashed fruit or drinking raw date palm sap contaminated by bats has caused outbreaks before. Sometimes an intermediate host like pigs amplifies the virus, making it easier to infect humans, just as in the first Nipah outbreak. Direct contact with bats or their droppings in caves is another risk. As people move closer to bat habitats, these encounters become more common. Even disturbing bat guano can aerosolize viral particles, leading to infection. The pathways for spillover are numerous and often invisible. It doesn't take much, just a moment of contact. Simple hygiene and public health education are critical defenses. Preventing spillover is far easier than containing an outbreak. Vigilance is our best protection. Here's the sobering truth. For these new henipaviruses, and even for Nipah and Hendra, we have no vaccines or antiviral treatments. If someone is infected, doctors can only offer supportive care, managing symptoms, but not fighting the virus itself. The lack of vaccines leaves entire populations defenseless. Vaccine development is slow and expensive. For these new viruses, it hasn't even started. Promising research exists for Nipah, but nothing is ready for widespread use. Without antivirals, patients are left at the mercy of their own immune systems. High fatality rates reflect this therapeutic void. Prevention is our only real strategy: surveillance, early detection, and rapid response. Outbreak containment depends on quick identification and strict quarantine. When there's no cure, the only winning move is to stop the virus before it spreads. We're in a race against time to develop the tools we need. Until then, we're vulnerable. The stakes couldn't be higher. The discovery of new bat viruses is alarming because we've seen this story before, with devastating results. Bats are linked to some of the world's most feared diseases: SARS, MERS, Ebola, and even COVID-19. SARS and MERS both likely originated in bats before jumping to humans through intermediate hosts. COVID-19, too, is genetically similar to bat coronaviruses. Ebola and rabies are also tied to bats, showing how easily deadly viruses can emerge. These outbreaks prove how quickly a bat-borne virus can go global. This isn't about demonizing bats. It's about recognizing their unique role as viral reservoirs. Their biology and evolutionary history make them a major source of emerging pathogens. Each new discovery adds to a troubling pattern we can't ignore. Scientists are issuing increasingly urgent warnings, highlighting a critical, often overlooked danger. The real threat, they say, lies at the human-wildlife interface. This is where the risk of new diseases jumping to humans is highest. It's the zone where our activities increasingly overlap with animal habitats, creating a breeding ground for potential pandemics. As we relentlessly expand into forests and grasslands, converting them for agriculture and development, we inevitably increase contact with wildlife, particularly species like bats, known to harbor a multitude of viruses. This close proximity creates countless opportunities for spillover, where viruses can jump from animals to humans, sometimes with devastating consequences. Consider rural villages situated right at the forest edge, where residents often keep livestock and cultivate fruit trees, attracting both wild animals and potential disease vectors. These environments become mixing pots for viruses, facilitating their evolution and transmission. A virus, for example, can easily jump from a bat to a pig, thriving in the pig system. Then, from the pig, it can transmit to a farmer, who is in close contact with the animals. This is exactly how the Nipah virus emerged, highlighting the dangers of this interconnectedness. The more we blur the line between wild and human spaces, encroaching on natural habitats, the more we risk igniting new outbreaks, potentially unleashing another global pandemic. Deforestation and habitat loss not only shrink wildlife habitats, but also stress the animals within them, making them shed more viruses as their immune systems weaken and they seek new resources. Stressed bats, driven by hunger and displacement, forage closer to people, seeking food in human settlements. This increases contact and, consequently, the risk of viral transmission. Our environmental impact, driven by unsustainable practices, creates the very conditions that allow new diseases to emerge and spread, threatening global health security. The solution isn't just developing new medicines and vaccines after a pandemic has already begun, it's fundamentally changing how we interact with nature, adopting a more sustainable and respectful approach. A One Health approach, recognizing the interconnectedness of all living things, links human, animal, and environmental health, promoting collaborative solutions. We need better land use planning that prioritizes conservation and minimizes human encroachment, improved farm biosecurity to prevent disease transmission between livestock and wildlife, and strengthened ecosystem protection to maintain the integrity of natural habitats. Healthy ecosystems, teeming with biodiversity, are our best defense against pandemics, acting as natural buffers against disease emergence. Prevention starts with respecting natural boundaries and fostering a harmonious coexistence with nature. Certain human practices dangerously amplify the risk of zoonotic viruses. Industrial fur farming and the wild animal trade, especially in wet markets, bring together species that would never meet in nature. These crowded, unhygienic environments are perfect laboratories for new pandemic threats. Mink farms, for example, saw massive COVID-19 outbreaks, with the virus mutating and spilling back to humans. Wild animal markets stack stressed, immunocompromised animals, making viral jumps between species easy. The original SARS outbreak was traced to such a market. Global health experts are calling for strict regulation or bans on these high-risk practices. The economic benefits pale in comparison to the catastrophic cost of a pandemic. As long as these practices continue, we're rolling the dice with global health. It's easy to see bats as threats, but that misses the bigger picture. The same traits that make bats viral reservoirs may hold keys to medical breakthroughs, including cancer research. Bats' immune systems tolerate viruses without getting sick, thanks to unique ways of controlling inflammation. Scientists are studying bat genomes to unlock secrets that could revolutionize treatments for inflammation and cancer. Bats live long, rarely get cancer, and their anti-inflammatory mechanisms may be the reason. By understanding bats, we could develop new therapies for human diseases. The answer isn't to eradicate bats. They're vital for ecosystems and pollination. We must protect their habitats and study their biology. Bats can teach us how to predict and prevent pandemics, and maybe even cure our worst diseases. The key is respect.